back to another episode of KARENisms, where we have fun sometimes and tell sad stories, funny stories, just have thoughts and ideas that we share. And today I want to share something really personal with you. But first, I want to bring Chase in and see how he's doing. Jace, come on in.
Hi, Karen.
Hi, Jace. How is everything going in your world right now?
Doing good. As we are recording this, we are actually in another typhoon watch, and a wind is too strong outside, but it's peaceful inside, and that's all that's important.
Wow. I tell you what, we've all had some weather going on. I'm lucky because where we're at, I'm just complaining because it's cold. It's only 56 degrees outside. I don't know what that is for you guys. That's probably 19, 18.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's cold. But I live in the South where it's supposed to be warm all the time, and it'll warm up. It'll be in the 90s by late afternoon. But that's okay. I know you and I have been through a lot this last couple of months, and I thought I would take this opportunity to share with people some of the things that have been going on in my life, which have impacted your lives and other people's lives, and not for sympathy, but just to share with them that we all go through things and that life can be okay even though we're going through things. So, are you good with me telling that?
Of course, and I am also like excited with you. Telling these stories because this is something that you can always view as a journey, and you can look back and like a documentary of how
Yeah.
life has been. So
Oh, I love that. I love that. Well, a few months ago, let's just start back. About 8 years ago, I had my last mammogram, and I finally, in September, the doctor's office called and said, "Okay, it's time for one again." And usually I say, "Oh, okay," and then never do it. And I went, "Oh, okay," and I actually went and did it. And they found a suspicious lump. And so I went back for more tests, and it came back that positive for cancer. Now, as far as cancers go, it's one of the better ones to have. Not that cancer in itself is very fun, but it was it was interesting, and I'm trying to say that positively. It was scary. It's still scary. Because at the time of this recording, I am just finishing up with the doctors in getting all of the procedures set and scheduled to take care of it. But what I want to share is people have asked me, how can you still have such a good attitude with this going on? And my comment to that is, how can I not? Because it is our thought process and our attitudes that help us heal or keep us from healing. And I'm scared. I have a heavy heart, and I've told the story, and if I haven't, I will again. I've told the story about my sister who had a heavy heart but still chose to be happy. Well, I've had the opportunity to choose to be happy. Now, telling too much information about myself, I did have a period many years ago where I was feeling insecure. And so I went and I had an augmentation. I had plastic surgery, had breast implants, and that's not what caused the cancer. But for me, that was a real big deal. And so when they said, "You've got breast cancer," my first thought was, "Am I going to die?" My second thought, embarrassingly enough, was, "Am I going to have no breasts?" And my third one was, "Karen, look at reality. One of four things is going to happen. They're going to say it's not a big deal. Give me a magic pill, it'll go away. They're going to say it is a big deal, and they're going to do chemotherapy and radiation and all those things, and it's going to make me good and sick." Well, I've been good and sick before. I have been close to death several times before. I've been on a PIC line for 4 months where I had a 70, let's try that again. I had a 13% chance of living. And so I say I had a 77% chance of dying, which is what they told me. But no, I had a 13% chance of living. And, and that number was going down for every day I had the PIC line in. So, I could get good and sick. Well, I've done that before. So I know what to expect. Well, I can have surgery and they can have to do a mastectomy. And I had to stop and laugh at myself because it's like, well, I've had one boob job. What's another one? And excuse my bluntness and crudeness in saying that, but it's like, I've had one boob job. What's the second one? And so, that made me feel a little bit better and laugh. And the fourth thing that can happen is I could die. Well, I decided many, many years ago that I wasn't afraid of death. And I have studied and watched and listened to near death experiences for years and years and years. And I choose to believe that there is something more after this life. And because of that, I am not suicidal by any stretch of the imagination, just not. I want to live. I want to live a full, long, productive life. But I'm not afraid of dying because in studying these near death experiences, they all say that it's lovely on the other side, unless you go to the dark side, but you pretty much know you're going there because you chose to be on the dark side here. And so, just don't follow Darth Vader and you're fine. Okay, that was complete obnoxiousness. I get it. But I realized it came down to those four things. And out of those four things, I had zero, 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 zero. That's an okay too. I had zero control over which one it was. Zero control over which one it was. And so I went in, oncology, all of those things. And I finally got to the surgeons because they said, no, this is going to take surgery. And the surgeon said, you have three options. We can do a partial mastectomy and you'll be on radiation every day for several months. We can do a single mastectomy and you'll be on radiation and possibly chemo. Now, I don't understand why not chemo with the first one. Don't understand. Or the third one is you can have a double mastectomy and chances of chemo and radiation are much, much slimmer. Well, I don't want radiation or chemo. I don't want to be that sick if I can choose not to be. Now, if that is my only choice, then I'll do it. But I had a choice for the others. So I've chosen for the double mastectomy. And I should be getting it in a couple of weeks because there's two doctors that have to work together to do all of this, and I have to get their schedule arranged so that we can do that. Now, I'm not telling you this story so that you can feel sorry for me. Oh, poor Karen, she's got cancer. She's miserable, blah, blah, blah. I tell you this because you know what? It's okay. It doesn't matter what happens to me because I have been trying to live my life in a manner that I am happy with. And I have tried to live my life setting an example. And I've said this quote a million times, but my younger sister Heather, her quote, one of her quotes is an inheritance is what you leave for other people. A legacy is what you leave in other people. And I'm telling you folks now, determine what legacy you want to leave in people and start living your life according to that. What memory do you want them to have? What different thought process do you want them to have? Do you want them to know that they are loved? Do you want them to know there is hope? There is peace? Do you want them to know that somebody cared? See, those are all things that are important to me. And I have tried, and now I have failed many, many times, but I've also succeeded many, many times. But I've tried to live my life according to that legacy because if you're going to leave a legacy, you might as well decide what it is and start leaving it now. So my legacy is to leave the world knowing one person, if one person knows that there is hope and that they are loved and that they are great and grand and have a lot to offer the world, if one person can get to that point, then I feel like I've left the legacy that I've desired to leave. Now, if hundreds of people can, even better, but I'm not delusional. I want to start with one person because I know that one person will impact another person who will impact another person who in turn will impact millions of people around the world. And I would have had a very small part in doing that. And that's the legacy I want to leave. I know I'm going to be fine regardless of what happens. I have had good spirits and I have been as happy as I possibly can be because I know it's out of my hands, and I know stressing and worrying and freaking out and causing all of that anxiety isn't going to help me. That doesn't mean I don't worry about it once in a while. It doesn't mean every once in a while I don't find myself having tears as I think of things I may lose out on. You know, if I should die, I'm going to lose out on seeing my grandkids continue to grow. I'll miss their weddings and things like that. But I don't dwell on, oh my gosh, I'm going to die, because the chances of me dying are next to nothing. I mean, they're very, very slim. But even if they weren't, I might miss out on those things. But what have I done so that my grandkids will know I love them 10 years, 20 years, 30 years from now? That's what's important, is do today what you want people to remember about you 30 years from now. And that is my KARENism today, is to live your life leaving the legacy you would want to leave. Jace, you have left a beautiful legacy in my heart because you truly live your life in that state of smile and love and acknowledgement and acceptance of yourself. And that to me is a beautiful, beautiful legacy. So thank you for leaving that legacy.
And I will always say this, and I think for every KARENisms that we have, I'm already saying this, but the way that you've impacted my life on a next level was something that never happened to me. Like now, I am very conscious if me and my sister will have a walk on a day. We had a typhoon earlier, so we didn't have the chance. Hopefully, we will have the chance later. Um, you made me more accepting of what are the things that come, and the way that you look at life very positively is something that I will always take inspiration of, and I'm very, very, very grateful for you.
Well, thank you. That means a lot to me. And again, I am grateful for you. And everybody, we'll keep you posted on what's happening and going on. If I miss a week of KARENisms, you'll know it's because I just couldn't do it. But I'm going to try and get them done. We're going to try and get a bunch pre-recorded so that if I end up being sick for a day or two, that it won't matter, or at least not to the KARENisms. But that being said, don't forget to join us each week for KARENisms. It really does mean a lot to me when you join us each week. And I hope that you get something out of it, or have somebody else that you can share this with so they can get something out of it. And remember, KARENisms is every Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time, and Power Surge on Wednesdays, where we have wonderful guests that take us through empowering journeys. They help lead us to self-discovery and to a better life. And so Power Surge is also at 10 a.m. and 1 p.m., and that is on Wednesdays. That being said, ciao for now. Thank you for watching this episode of KARENisms. If you found anything interesting, entertaining, or useful, please be sure and hit the like button. Now, to find out more about me, my coaching, events, or even resources, go to drkarenperkins.com. Again, that's Dr. Dr. Karen, Karen, Perkins, Perkins.com. And if you haven't already, subscribe.